Welcome. So in front of me I have the INFINIX phone, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick just a look overview of the spec list. Now the specific model that I have here is the Hot 11. This is the most unfortunate name for a device that I have encountered so far. So let's just move right past it. Now, before I get going any further, I will be, well, basically as straightforward as I can with this. This is basically a budget device costing a little bit over $100. Now, the pricing of it is 1,799 rupees. So yeah. And from what I checked, the conversion of it to, say, to US dollars, if that actually makes any sense, converting that to US dollars. Let's actually quickly check. United States dollars. So this comes out to be exactly 125 bucks. So there we go. There we go. So once we open it up, obviously you can see the phone right here. We do have a couple info listed right here on the screen, which is nice. The packaging here is just abysmal. The phone is not even laying straight on here, and it's just flopping around. We have this. Okay. Once we pop that out, we have... Damn, we're rich. We've done it. Welcome to X Club. Okay, anyway, we got also a charger. Now I have no idea what the plug right here is. It's not European one, not the Polish one at least. If I can grab one just for comparison what I use normally. So there we go, that's the Polish one. It looks very similar, but as you can see, the thickness of these bolts is just way bigger, and the actual bolts are a little bit shorter. So yeah, I have no idea what this is for. We get a SIM ejector, and we get a cable. Now, the cable has a neat coating on it, orange one, which reminds me of Huawei devices, which also have that. And these actually support a fairly decent fast charging. So let's see what we get here. We're looking at not very fast charging. So this is a 10 watt charger, which you can see right, let me just grab this. It's right here above the knife. Output, we are looking at 5 volts, 2 amps. And oh, hello, we actually get a, oh damn, we also get this. So we get a case for this device, and we get a screen protector. Now this is plastic one, as you can see. It's not tempered glass, so it's a little bit of them. I don't think it would cost that much more, and tempered glass is way better than this plastic trash, so yeah. Anyway, I'll just peel this off. Eat. There we go. And let's power it on. Give it a second for it to actually boot back up, or boot up for the first time. So anyway, looking at the specs right here, the display, XOS, that's interesting. We're looking at 6.6 inch display with a 1080p resolution. It's an 83.6% screen to body ratio with 400 pixels per inch, so it's fairly dense. And it's just an IPS LCD display with about peak brightness of 500 nits, so nothing really special right here. Select your region, whatever. Gonna skip most of this just so I can get through the setup as quick as I can. We do have Google Pay services, so that's at least nice. Actually, let's go back. We have a fingerprint at the back. Okay. Yeah, So there we go, it's almost finished. So outside of that, we're looking at a Helio G70 processor in here. So obviously of everything that you will see in this phone is catering towards more like a budget. But to be fair, this phone for a budget device at a little bit over $100, I have to say, not bad. Feels nice in hand. At the moment, at least throughout the setup process, it didn't really stutter. It went through the setup fairly quickly. Obviously, it's not gonna blow you away. It's nothing like a flagship would be, so just keep that in mind. Tone your expectations to that, but outside of that, at the moment, it seems to be running fairly well. Obviously, no high refresh rate, though at this price tag, I wouldn't expect it. So, it honestly, for the price, it seems to be fairly good. Now, it also has a couple of mishaps which I would prefer to have a little bit improved. So as an example, when it comes down to storage, we're looking at 64 or 128 gigs, but both of them are capping at 4 gigs of RAM. 4 gigs, very low. Probably would like to see more like a 6 one, and make that a default. Bump up a price just a little bit, but make the device usable for basically everybody, because 4 gigs might not be that great. Now we also have an expandable storage right here, so that solves the problem just with the small storage of like 64 or 128 gigs. If you need more, don't worry, pop an SD card and you're good to go. And then moving on, in terms of the cameras, which we have a double camera setup, and the middle one is just a fake. So we're looking at, wait, are we even looking at triple or dual camera? On my spreadsheet, I see only one. Let's see. I mean, the second one most certainly looks like a camera. So let's see if I open up camera, maybe it will give me a little bit more info. There we go. There's the camera. So like a normal photo mode, beauty, AI cam, video. That's odd. Maybe I'll just stick with the AI. Now, I have never used this skin of Android, so forgive me if I'm a little bit slow here. It's completely brand new to me, so I have no idea where the settings are in here and how they're basically disguised. In terms of picture, looking at 13 megapixel max, so that would track with the main sensor. And I can't really find anything about the other one. What is this? It's a flip. And let me check actually how it looks like. Honestly, not bad. Not bad for an 8 megapixel budget device. Honestly, there is one thing that surprised me right here. As you can see, there is a light literally behind my head, and it still did a fairly good job controlling the light and just capturing my face, which didn't look like completely dark. So, nice. Obviously, this isn't the best camera, but hey, it did a fairly good job with this. Now let's actually, what do we got here? We have, we pull it up, there we go. So portrait, beauty, short, super night, AI shots, most slow motion, panorama. So if anything, oh no, that's a panorama, not really what I was thinking of. Yeah, I think this is just a single camera setup. Can't really find what the other sensor would be. Anyway, so it looks like this is probably your main camera, and looks also like the only camera in this case, because this is just a circle with nothing in there, and this looks to be a fake in this case. Though, don't take my word on it, I might be completely wrong, I just cannot find info. And at the front, we are looking at 8 megapixel, which I mentioned before. So, camera setup, obviously not the best, but again, tone your expectations for this phone. For instance, the selfie did a fairly decent job, so I can't really complain about that one. And in terms of battery life, or just a battery in general, this phone has a whopping 5200 milliamp hour battery. So this is a huge cell in here. And sadly, it won't be necessarily getting charged super quickly just because we're looking at a 10-watt charging. It might have a good battery life, but charging speeds will be a little bit on the lower side. But still, like I mentioned, budget device, don't your expectations. Still, the fact that we have a huge battery in here and the phone actually doesn't work like a piece of crap, that's a benefit in my book. Yeah. So anyway, apart from the unfortunate name of this phone, the Hot 11, the phone itself looks and works fairly good. I can't really complain about it for the price. There's not much I can say. It doesn't really have anything that it's missing really. It's trying to be a budget phone, and it does do just that fine. It does it really well. The only thing, like I mentioned before, that I would like to have improved is just the amount of RAM. Just a smidge more would have been just so good. But at this price and well, what you get for it, it's still a decent device. There's nothing that I can say that is wrong about it. Maybe just a little bit of a bloatware that I can see right here, but I assume that's something that I can remove, so there we go. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.